You are tuned into a special player spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first. Since 2002, visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your guys' host, Chris Shanafel, and joining the show now for a player spotlight interview is 2016 NFL Draft prospect Max DeLorenzo, the running back, fullback out of UConn. And Max, we appreciate you taking some time this evening. Can you believe that your collegiate career is now all over? You know, your 4 or 5 years at UConn is now behind you, and now here you are training and getting ready for an opportunity at the next level?
Yeah, hey Chris, how you doing? Thanks for having me. I know it went by, like that. 4.5 years ago, I was a young and naive freshman going into UConn, and now it's all over. Ended well with a great bowl experience, and now I need to move on and hopefully get to the next level.
And talk about your journey to the University of Connecticut, if you could, Max. I mean, by the looks of it, doing some research for this interview, I mean, it looks like you had quite the high school football career. As you said, a Berlin high school record with 5,040 career rushing yards. And as a junior in high school, you ran for over 2,100 yards, and you were a two-time All-State selection, Class M MVP by the Connecticut High School Coaches Association. So again, coming out of high school, why did you choose UConn?
I was an in-state kid. The recruiting process definitely was somewhat of a challenge for me. Obviously, I had great family support by my parents, and my head coach, John Capodice, helped me tremendously to get recruited and to get me into the camps, the one-a-day camps, and finally Randy Edsel jumped the gun and offered me. But yeah, my college career, it was definitely a lot of ups and downs, a lot of adversity. I committed to Randy Edsel, but never, saw him at college because he left after the Fiesta Bowl. And I had another coach come in. I had about 4 head coaches, three head coaches, 4 position coaches. So it was always tough. A few new different offenses. It was definitely tough. I was behind the All-American, started playing over him. Started, then was a backup again. Just a lot of different things go into it. If you start losing and the season's kind of already over when you're 0-5 or 1-6, whatever we were, and a lot of factors come into play. But I learned a lot from it. Definitely a different jump coming from high school to college. But I learned a lot. I grew as a person and as a player. We had a lot of NFL guys on our coaching staff throughout my years at UConn, so I learned a lot of verbiage, and made some plays and watched others make plays as well. So it was definitely a long journey, but I could say it definitely ended well with Coach Diaco and his staff and our great bowl week down in Florida.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just, carry it off from right there. I mean, you already touched on it. I mean, lots of ups and downs throughout your time at UConn. Obviously, not a lot of team success. I mean, let's see. I believe your freshman year, you guys finished 5-7, 2 games under 500. The following year, 2-10. And then your junior year, I believe it was 3-9, and now here this, to kind of talk about the expectations heading into this past season. Your senior year, I gotta think you wanted to go out with a bang, and you mentioned it. You guys were able to finish the regular season 6-6, 500, and you're able to appear in a bowl game for the first time in your collegiate career. I mean, talk a little bit about what your expectations were for this season, both individually, team-wise, and what was it like to play in that bowl game?
Yeah, well, it was awesome, number one. And, my junior year when we finished 2-10, I believe it was. That was Coach Giacco's first year at UConn, and we were getting his system into place and his coaches and all that. And our expectations this year were very high. We wanted to go undefeated. Obviously, you don't expect to lose any games, but we went through a lot of ups and downs this year. We were the only team to knock off Houston time on our home field for senior night to become bowl eligible. So that was one of the highlights of the season, and unbelievable experience with the fans storming the field. But personally, my redshirt sophomore year was probably my best season. I became a starter like halfway in, and I had a lot of success running the ball, catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. And then my junior year, the 2-10 year, we went. We had a lot of young talented backs, and like I said, things happen when you start losing, and going to give other guys a shot. And then I knew going into my senior year that I would have a different role. The easy way out would have been to transfer to somewhere else and be a key starter somewhere else, but I didn't want to do that. Like I said, I'm an in-state guy, and I bleed blue, and I was all about the UConn and that football program. And but to beat Houston, to finish, we finished 6-7, but to go 6-6, make a bowl for my first bowl experience, come down to Florida, 80 degrees every day, do all the bowl activities, get all the bowl gifts. It's something I'll never forget.
Yeah, and you already touched on it as well, Max. I mean, statistically, your redshirt sophomore year will probably go down as your best season again statistically, individually, as you ran for about 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. The following year, as a redshirt junior, you ran for 343 yards and 1 touchdown. And you mentioned it heading into this season, you kind of knew that you were going to be playing a different role. And obviously, you didn't put up those stats. And like you said, the easy way out would have been just to transfer somewhere else where you would see a lot more carries, see the ball a lot more. But I think it speaks a lot to your commitment to the UConn Huskies, the college and the athletic team as well, just as a whole. Kind of talk about your skill set as a tailback. I mean, what are some things that if we turn on the tape and we watch Max DeLorenzo, we'll see a lot of them on offense, on special teams. But talk a little bit about your skill set that maybe we wouldn't see if we were to turn on that film.
Yeah, my skill set tailback wise, I think I'm a very smart player. Coming into college, I didn't know much about defenses because, I got the ball left, got the ball right in high school and caught the ball. Didn't really need to know protections. I think I'm very smart and good with identifying defenses, identifying, the safety rotations, who's going to be blitzing, what's my protection, because that's one of the biggest things to college. And then obviously in the NFL too is being able to pass protect. So I think I'm a very smart player in the back end, and I think my biggest strength is my hands, catching out of the backfield, and then doing a little bit what I did this year is the fullback or H-back or going into the slot and running some routes and catching passes. That's my biggest strength. I'm not gonna blow anybody away with 4.3 40 speed and outrun everybody on the field, but I'm a yards after contact player. And what I always said is I move the chains. So that was always my goal when I got the ball and when I was in there is keep the chains moving, because that means you're staying on the field and eventually the chains can't move anymore because you're gonna punch it in.
Again, he is the 2016 NFL draft prospect, Max DeLorenzo, tailback out of UConn, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. Follow on Twitter at NFL Draft Bible. And Max, I got to think that it's really every collegiate athlete's dream to, get an opportunity at the next level, play professional football. Did you ever think that you would be this close to achieving that dream, though? I mean, obviously we're not there yet, but not many reach this point where they're training for their pro day and have 4.5, 5 years of college ball under their belt. When did you realize that, you would have what it takes to play in the league and that you were going to give this whole draft process a shot?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of hit me probably 2 years ago or maybe in my redshirt junior season, just seeing players that are in the NFL now, have great success, have great pro days. I don't know, I think I have about 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 former teammates that I played with in the NFL or were in the NFL or in the CFL. And one of my good friends, I think we all know Byron Jones, who, had a crazy combine, and I hope he gets Rookie of the Year this year. A great year with the Cowboys. Just seeing all them, put in the work in and work out and train and make it. I thought, why can't I do it and why not? I know I could play football. I've made plays, obviously, high school and at the college level. And what I needed is just the great training that Fitzpeed down in Florida has given me to get the technique down and get my 40 down, get my L drill down, increase my vert, increase my broad, all those things that the scouts and everybody are going to look at pro day. And, I'm not even done with week 2 yet, and there's been a huge difference. So just got to keep working, and it's a hard gig. I mean, the NFL I think there's only 1,300 people in the NFL. It's still, one of the most unique jobs there is. So it's tough, it's hard, and I've been through college football. I've been through, like I said, 3 coaches, all that. I've had a lot of adversity. I've been through camps and 2-a-days. So I believe I'm tough. I'm tough mentally, and it's going to be a tough road and a tough challenge. But I'm excited for it, and I'm up for it.
Absolutely. Sounds great. And obviously everybody knows about Byron Jones, who you just mentioned a minute ago. First-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Actually had a hell of a season at safety for the Cowboys this year. And like you said, he should certainly be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Just a couple of years ago, I was actually able to interview Yawan Smallwood, the linebacker out of UConn, who I believe is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's on the Tennessee Titans practice squad. At least he was last I checked earlier in the year. I mean, a lot of talent certainly comes out of UConn, and obviously, Max, you're a part of that. Have any of these guys given you any advice as to what to expect, throughout this process as you get ready to, or hope to achieve your dream and get a shot in the NFL?
Yeah, Byron, obviously, I've talked to, Kashif Moore, who just got out of his CFL contract, but he was in the NFL for a little bit with the Steelers, I believe. Former UConn running back Andre Dixon, who I work out with when I'm back home. He's been all over the CFL and the UFL when it was out for freaking less than a year, whatever it was. They all just say, stick with the training. Obviously, these guys know what they're talking about. They said it's a grind, and the NFL, or at any level up, it's a different beast. So you gotta be mentally tough, which I knew going in, and just grind it out. Football is a grind game. That's why you practice all these practices for 10, 12, 16 games. It's not like basketball or any other sport where you play multiple times a week. And they're good to, text or FaceTime, get a call in, and then hear from them, and have them knowing that they're thinking about you and giving you advice. It definitely means a lot.
Absolutely. That's great to hear that you are getting some advice from those guys who have already been through this process. I don't think you could ever have enough advice given to you as you obviously look to achieve that dream and play in the NFL. And, Max, looking at what you've been able to do at UConn, let's say, 5-10 years from now, what will be the first play that comes to mind? I mean, what would you say is the most memorable play of your collegiate career? Would it be that, I believe it was against Cincinnati, your redshirt sophomore year, maybe your redshirt junior year when you scored that first touchdown of yours? I believe when I was researching for this interview, I seen that you recovered a blocked punt. I believe you recovered that in the end zone. I forgot again who that was against. I mean, what play will first pop into your mind, when you're thinking about your UConn Husky days, 10 years from now?
That's a good question. Yeah, that blocked punt was my redshirt freshman year, so it was the first game I was ever playing in and eligible to play at home. And obviously being from Connecticut at home, I had a lot of fans there, so that was awesome. Maybe it's a good question, but I would have to say probably my redshirt junior year. When my role was starting to get changed towards the end of the year, and it was Coach Diaco's first year, and it was a 4th and 1 play, and I broke out for like a 55 or 60-yard touchdown run, the last game of the year, and just the younger other backs that were playing over me, they were the first people on the sideline to congratulate me, and same with Coach Diaco. So just past football, just having that support and how those guys they still have a few more years to play, and I don't. So that was definitely special. And beyond football, probably just the relationships I've built. I just met so many people, being a student athlete at UConn. So many coaches, so many players, and they're all my family. You go through camp with those guys. You go through all those winter conditioning workouts that all suck. And doing it with your brothers and your family, and that's certainly special. But so obviously the play could have been the block punt and that long touchdown run. But beyond that, just the relationships that I've built throughout my 4.5 years there, because no matter what, I feel like I can always call somebody and then, either get advice, maybe ask them to help me with a job in the future, just something along those lines. I know being a part of the UConn football team and the UConn student body, I'll always have that option.
And that I think that means a lot. It certainly sounds like it means a lot. And you've kind of already have asked for advice, like you were saying just a minute ago. Some of your former teammates, who have already made it to the next level, have already kind of helped you out as you go on this journey. Now, again, he is the tailback, Max DeLorenzo, out of UConn, joining me here on the CS podcast, presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible as he gets set for the 2016 NFL Draft. And Max, any idea when UConn's pro day will be, or do you plan on participating in any combines as well?
I believe our pro day is March 8th. It's a little early this year. So I think that's March 8th, and then my agent Dave Schumann, who I'm sure got me into the National Scouting Combine, which is February 25th in Indianapolis, right when the main combine in Indy is going on. So I'm gonna still stay here, train here till then. Then I'm gonna go to the Indianapolis for that combine, and come back here for another week and a half, whatever it is, and then I'll head up back home to UConn for my pro day. So it's those two that I'm training for, and training every day, all day, multiple times a day, 6 days a week, 1 day off, all these weeks for just a couple of opportunities. You gotta hang in there and perform. That's what this game's about.
Right, right. And you already said it that you're down in Florida, training at Fit Speed. What kind of numbers would you like to record? I mean, do you have any numbers in mind that you'd like to hit? Obviously, being a tailback, the first thing people are going to look at is that 40 time. And as you alluded to earlier, you're not gonna open any eyes with a 4.3, 4.4. What are you going to have to kind of step it up in the other events to kind of make up for that 40 time, or what are you thinking?
Because I'm I guess I could consider myself a bigger back, but at the next level I probably won't be that much. I was like 225. They wanted me at all year at UConn, and my goal is to be 215 for the combine and for pro day. And I'm down to 221 right now, so I lost about like 5 pounds in a week and a half. So it's going good so far. And numbers-wise, I've hit 4.4 before. I've hit it in high school. I've hit it in college when we test in the spring. I've hit high 4.4s, hand time, obviously. But being my size and my ability, I would like to hit under 4.5 if I can. I know when I get going, I'm fast. So down here, it's all about the start and technique. And if I can nail that, which I'm already doing so far, and then hit my top end speed, hopefully the numbers will be good. And pro agility, the 5.10.5, I want to be around under 4.3. From what I know and heard and looked up, the running backs run under 4.3 in that, and under a 6.9, I believe, in the L drill. So I mean, I'm around not the 40 because we haven't really strided out with it yet, but those other drills, I'm literally right around those numbers, and on a few of them I was slipping, and my technique wasn't even the best, and we're only in week 2, so I have high expectations. Again, because none of my stats shine at you, or my physical or visual appearance doesn't shine at you. I gotta make up for it, and I gotta catch an eye, and hopefully I can catch many eyes and get an opportunity for a second workout with some teams, and then my ultimate goal is just to make it in the camp. Obviously, they cut guys every day, and it's still a tough process, but I know I could play, and I just want an opportunity to get into a camp and to show the guys that I could play. So that's the ultimate goal. Not worried about numbers too much right now. I'm only in week 2, but come mid-February, end of February, hopefully I'll be right around those numbers, and hopefully I'll impress.
Right, and is it weird that you're kind of I don't know, they call it track shape? I mean, you're kind of training, you're not really training for football right now at the moment. That you're kind of getting yourself in track shape and getting ready for the combine and participating in all of those events, while maybe some of your teammates over at UConn are starting to kind of get ready for their next season. I mean, is it kind of feeling weird right now that you are kind of in this process, getting ready for the combine?
Yeah, it is. I wanted to do track in high school, but I was a pretty good basketball player, and I loved basketball, so I played football and basketball, and then after that I was working out for football, so I never really did, the track stuff, and I don't want to say it's sad that it all depends on, your 40 and your numbers with the agility and the vert and all that, because it's not really football. But it's the business. It's the nature of the business, nature of the game, and it is a little difficult because sometimes it's frustrating if you mess up or don't get the technique right. But like I said, it's all technique. It's all, footwork and foot placement. And then obviously, we're still doing some football wise, like lifts, not really heavy. We have the 225 bench at the pro day. So, we're getting our endurance up for that. So it's definitely a different training. Not football training and not, getting ready to play football or practice, but we also mix in some football stuff. We have position coaches down here with us, and we run routes and catch balls. So it's somewhat of a weird process, but not as weird or difficult as some might think. We're all athletes down here, and athletes adapt.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
All right, and switching gears here really quickly, we'll end the interview in just a few minutes here, Max. I do want to ask you, though, about the whole process of finding an agent. Again, you did sign with Dave Schumann and Inspired Athletes. He sent you guys down there to Florida to work out at Fit Speed. What was it about Dave that separated himself from the other agents that were interested in you? And, how do you feel about the decision so far?
Yeah, well, funny because, because of my role, quote unquote role change and not really touching the ball like I wanted to this past year. I'm a under the radar guy, and not many people reached out to me and wanted me. So I got Dave's number from a former teammate of mine who he said, if you want to get to the league, call Dave. I called Dave. He answered right away, and I asked him if there's another time where we could talk. And then he called me one weekend and said, I'm passing through UConn. You want to meet? So we met, and he believed in me. He said, Max, I've seen you play. I know what you've been through with the coaches and the playing and the roles. I've seen you play. I think you're good. I believe in you. My partner, I've talked to him already. And him and his partner, they both played at UConn and went to UConn. So they definitely wanted to start a UConn base. And, I believed in him. I listened to what he had to say and put me up in the training facilities. And I guess the one guy who made it to a team last year off their clients, I guess wasn't in the combine and didn't even get money from Dave and his partner. So he believes in me, and he wants to see me succeed, and I'm happy I signed with him, and we talk like every week, so it's going good so far, and I can't wait to see what happens.
And I got to think it was nice to, kind of meet up with somebody that was obviously already familiar with you. And of course, the UConn ties certainly do not hurt, as you mentioned. Dave also went to UConn. So great stuff. Now, we're going to end this interview with something I like to call the 2-minute drill, Max. I mean, some of these questions, they'll be football-related, and some will just be random questions that can be about just about anything. You ready to knock some of these out?
Testing me out, but let's go.
All right. What is your favorite TV show and movie?
Oh, boy. I think my favorite TV show has to be Entourage. I met the main character, Adrian Grenay, who's Vinny Chase, as everybody knows him. I came to UConn actually one time, and I got a picture with him. That's got to be my favorite show. Just everybody, I guess would want that lifestyle, and it was just a great show. Favorite movie? Wow. Putting me on the spot here. I'm just going to have to go from the top of my head and Night at the Roxbury.
Okay. All right. Hey, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with that at all. Next question. If you had a plane ticket to travel anywhere you wanted, where would you go?
I would say Florida because, I love it down here, but and I'm down here now. My family also has a condo in Fort Myers, so I've been coming here, throughout my whole life. But I would want to go to California. Never really been out there. I hear a lot of great things. A lot of friends have moved out there. It's a different lifestyle out there from what I hear, and I don't want to go anywhere outside the U.S. I like being in somewhere where I can control and, get back home safe and sound. So I'm sticking with California.
All right, and hey, obviously you can't go wrong with either Florida or California. So it sounds great. If you think I was testing you out with that first question, I think this one might be pretty tough for you, Max. If you could run over one defensive player currently playing in the NFL, who would that be?
Wow. Yeah, you are tested. Run over one player. Well, I don't want to take shots, but I would love to run over Byron. I really would. Just going at it with him in practice throughout my 4 years with him and the little chippiness and competitive crap talking we had. Oh, that would be great. That Byron, just because he's my former teammate, but if it wasn't for Byron, it'd probably be Cam Chancellor, safety on the Seattle Seahawks. And nothing against him. It's just because he's a big, hard-hitting safety, and I enjoy that. I like when safeties come down and hit, and if I was able to make it and was able to run at Cam Chancellor one time, I would eat that up. I would love it.
Hey, sounds great. And obviously Chancellor playing at the top of his game right now, and Byron Jones just wrapped up his rookie year. Obviously you're a former teammate, and the sky's the limit for him. Certainly a hell of a football player. Couple more questions. Favorite restaurant?
Ruth's Chris, hands down. I went there about twice in 1 week before I left, one with my uncle and one with former coach, and I don't know. You can't beat the steak, can't beat the surf and turf with the lobster on tap, and the calamari there. They just do something with it that's just head and shoulders above everywhere else. So Bruce Chris, although it's expensive, it's definitely my favorite restaurant.
All right, and final question for you, Max. Let's say we got all 32 NFL general managers listening to this very interview. Why should they want the tailback out of UConn, Max DeLorenzo, a part of their team?
Because I'll be an asset to their team on and off the field. I'll help make plays for the team to win, and whatever role that may be. On the practice squad, regular on the team, starter, backup, whatever role it is, I'm going to be all in, hardworking, and try to help the team win any way possible. And then whatever organization gets me, if I'm lucky enough to, make it, I'll be a good representation of the team and organization off the field as well.
Hey, that's great. And, Max, I got to say, I really do appreciate you taking some time this evening. It's certainly a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm wishing you all the best as you get set, as you continue to get set for the 2016 NFL Draft.
Thanks, Chris. I had a blast, and, hopefully hear from you soon and talk again soon.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.